Once upon the time, there was a village called Green Hill. It was small and quiet. People lived in mud houses with thatched roofs. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Children ran around barefoot, playing with sticks and old tires. Women cooked on open fire. Men went to the farms with cutlasses and hoes. Everyone knew everyone. But something strange had started happening. Some women in the village suddenly became rich. Very rich. They stopped going to the farm. They stopped selling in the market. They wore big earrings, fine shoes, and drove shiny cars. Their houses were painted bright colors, and they had servants to carry their bags. Nobody knew how they got rich so fast. But people whispered. They are doing rituals. They gave something to get all that money. They went to the evil man in the forest. Some people believed it. Others didn't. But one woman, Mary, believed it very well. Mary was 40 years old. She lived in a small, broken-down house with her only daughter, Grace. Grace was 6 years old. She had big eyes, a sweet voice, and a smile that could melt any heart. She was always singing and dancing, even when there was no music. Mary used to be full of life too. She sold vegetables in the market. But things were hard. Sometimes, she sold all day and made just enough money to buy 1 cup of rice. Other days, she sold nothing. Her clothes were old. Her shoes had holes. Her roof leaked when it rained. One day, as Mary sat outside her house, she saw 3 rich women drive by in a big red car. They were laughing and throwing biscuits to children on the road. Mary's eyes followed them until the car disappeared. She sighed deeply. Look at them, she said. They used to be just like me. Now they are living like queens. Grace ran to her with a flower in her hand. Mama, look what I found. Mary smiled, but inside her heart, something was turning dark. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the women and their shiny clothes, their clean shoes, their bags full of money. I'm tired of suffering, she whispered. I must find out how they did it. The next day, she went to the market and waited. When one of the rich women came down from her car to buy pepper, Mary followed her. Please, she said softly. Tell me the truth. How did you make it? The woman looked at her for a long time. Then she said, Are you sure you want to know? Mary nodded. Go to the old forest at night, she said. Look for the man they call Dr. Black. He will help you. But be ready. He doesn't help for free. Mary swallowed hard. That night, she left Grace sleeping on the mat, covered with a thin cloth. She walked quietly through the village and into the forest. It was dark and cold. The trees were tall and still. Strange sounds came from the bushes. She was afraid, but she didn't stop. After some time, she saw a small wooden house with red cloth hanging on the door. Smoke rose from the roof. A voice came from inside. Who is there? Mary's legs shook. It's me, Mary. I came to see Dr. Black. The door opened by itself. Inside was a strange man. His skin was pale, his hair was wild, and his eyes looked like fire. He sat on a mat surrounded by bones, feathers, and bottles full of dark water. He asked the woman who brought you here. Mary said it was a woman I saw in the market square. How many I help you, woman? Dr. Black said. I'll want to be rich. She said. Are you ready to pay the price? Yes, she said again, her voice small. Then bring me what I need, Dr. Black said. 7 days from now. Bring it before the moon is full. What do you need? She asked. He stared at her with eyes that saw through her skin. Bring me your child. Mary's heart almost stopped. No, she said quickly. I can't give you my child. Then go back and continue suffering. He turned his back on her. Mary stood there, frozen. Her hands were cold. Her lips trembled. Wait, she said. Can I think about it? You have 7 days, Dr. Black said. After that, if you don't bring her, the spirits will come for you. Mary ran back home. Grace was still sleeping. She looked so peaceful, so small, so innocent. Tears ran down Mary's cheeks. She didn't eat the next day. She didn't talk. She just sat outside and stared at nothing. On the third day, she cooked a small pot of soup. Grace smiled and clapped. Yes, my mother is cooking soup. Mary forced a smile. But in her heart, she was dying. By the fifth day, she started planning how she would take Grace to the forest. She told her, "We are going to meet someone who will help us." Grace was excited. "Will he give us food?" Mary nodded. "Yes, my child. He will give us plenty food. And clothes. And shoes." The night before the seventh day, Mary packed a small bag. She wrapped Grace in a shawl and carried her on her back. Grace fell asleep on the way. The road was dark. The trees looked like monsters. Mary's heart beat fast. When they reached the forest, the wind became loud. Dr. Black came out of his hut. "Good," he said. "You brought her." He opened the door and pointed at a mat on the floor. "Lay her there." Mary laid Grace down gently. Grace opened her eyes. "Mama," she asked, "have you sleep?" Mary couldn't answer. Her mouth was dry. Dr. Black handed her a small knife. "Just one cut on the chest," he said. "That is all. The spirits will do the rest." Mary held the knife. Her hand was shaking. She looked at her daughter. Grace looked up and said, "Mama, are we going home after this?" Mary froze. Tears fell from her eyes. She dropped the knife. "No," she said. "I can't do it. I can't give my child." Dr. Black's face turned red with anger. "You must," he shouted. "The spirits will take you." Mary picked Grace up and ran. She ran like fire was behind her. The trees scratched her face. Her legs hit stones. But she didn't stop. The sky thundered. The wind howled. Dr. Black screamed behind her, but the forest closed in. She ran out of the forest and into the village, fell on the ground, and held Grace tightly. "I'm sorry," she cried. "I'm so sorry." Grace hugged her. "It's okay, Mama. Let's just go home." The next morning, the village heard what happened. Some women cried. Others were afraid. Mary told the truth to everyone. "I almost did it. I almost gave away my child. But I stopped." People were shocked. But many poor women came to her and said, "You are brave. You chose love over riches." Not long after, a kind man from the city heard her story. He gave her money to start a small farm. Mary began to sell fruits and vegetables. Her name spread far. She became a helper to others. She was never the richest woman in the village, but she had peace. And she had Grace safe and happy. And from that day, Mary told every woman she met, "No money is worth the life of your child." Please subscribe for more videos. Please comment what you learned from this story.